Hello and welcome. I thought I would share with you how I recently created the backgrounds on 3 watercolor floral paintings. For this first painting of a bearded iris, I decided to use Holbein's super granulating watercolors, and I placed them on my palette in the order that I was going to put them in the painting from top to bottom. So the top color I used is jade vine blue, the next color is mimosa yellow, and then the bottom color is echinops green gray. When I work on my watercolor paintings, I have my table on a bit of a slant, so that way I am moving the watercolor pigment towards me. So that's why I've turned this upside down. And now I'm applying just a clear wash of water across the area that I want to add the pigment to. And now the fun begins. I'm starting with the bottom of the painting, which is at the top of the picture here, and I'm adding my echinops green gray, and that way with gravity it's going to start moving down into the middle ground of the painting, the middle background, and then I will move into the mimosa yellow and combine that with a little bit of the echinops green gray, so that way they'll start to kind of blend together, but also keeping this very loose with a lot of water. That way the super granulating pigments get a chance to move around and do what they do best, which is to separate. And you can already see that separation happening there. It's so beautiful. And I love that quality about the paint, is that you just don't really know where it's going to go, what it's going to do. And I move the whole paper around as well, sideways, back and forth, just to keep that separation moving. I like to have a little bit of white paper showing through the sky portion of it to kind of give the illusion of light coming down on the flower. So that's why I don't cover the entire surface here with pigment. And then after wiping off my brush so it's a little bit dry, I'll pick up little pools of excess water, because if I don't do that, it's going to bloom out when it's drying. And while I think that can be a really beautiful effect, it's not what I wanted to have happen with this painting. At this point, I'm adding a little table salt where the sky meets the trees or the bushes, to give the idea maybe that there are other flowers in the background. Now I'm letting it dry a little bit. I want to make sure that the pigments have settled before I start work on the lower part of the background. Once again, I'm employing the same process by adding a wash of water and then adding more pigment in there and moving it around. I also wanted to mention that I went ahead and masked all of the outlines of the flowers and the leaves that I wanted to protect from this process with Misc masking fluid. And although I'm not a big fan of using masking fluid, I felt that it would be a great idea here, since I was going to be tipping and moving the paper around quite a bit. I'm now going to let this one dry, and I'll begin work on the background of the next flower. For this background, I'm going to be using Masha's watercolors. And I've chosen the colors Blue Mist for the sky area, Flame to give the hint of maybe another rose in the background, and Hosta Green for the green, mid to dark green in the lower portion of the background. I decided to start this one differently and work with the sky first and let it kind of run down, maybe take up more of the upper portion of the paper than I did with the last one. Some table salt again here to give the illusion of maybe some flower petals or other flowers in the background. I think I'm good here, and I will let this one dry. For this last painting, I'm going back to using Masha's watercolors. I have a 24 color set that I like. And for the sky, I'm using Deep Sea. For the middle and lower background, I'm using Forest Green. And then I am dropping some of the night shadow in the lower area of the background to add some interest and depth. And here are the completed paintings. The first one, the bearded iris, turned out very lovely. I love the purple specks that showed up in the sky. It's such a soft background, but the granulation makes it look so pretty. And with the rose painting, the hosta green dried a lot lighter than I expected, but still so soft and pretty. And the Siberian irises, look at those salt features that you see in the background, look like little flowers, just absolute, or petals. It looks so pretty. I really am happy with how they all turned out. Thank you for watching, and I hope this inspires you to try some granulation in your backgrounds.